What if the date didn't go wrong? What if it just never really happened? You're sitting across from someone you like, but your attention isn't there. Neither is theirs. A notification lights up. You check yours, they check theirs. Nobody's saying anything. And that's the part nobody talks about. You've gotten so used to it that two people can sit across from each other for 20 minutes and still call it a quality time. Think about that. Not because you're bored, not because you dislike each other, because looking away has become a habit. A quick glance, one notification, a quick scroll, and the date is already losing. Maybe it started with a picture. Maybe it started with a quick reply. Maybe it started with 1 second that turned into 10. One photo, another, different angles, different takes. Trying again. The photo gallery keeps filling up. And somehow, the date still hasn't started. 5 minutes pass, then 10. Nobody says much. Nobody reacts. And somehow, that's the strange part. Nobody seems shocked by it anymore. It's become normal. Maybe you've seen it. Maybe you lived it. Maybe you've been the one sitting there wondering when the date was actually going to start. And it's not just restaurants. Have you noticed what happened to the dance floor? A place where people showed off their best moves. A place where strangers would meet. Where conversations started without effort. Where ordinary nights turned into memories. Now look around. The music is loud. The room is full. But more and more often, people aren't dancing with each other. They're filming themselves instead. Phones out. Screens lighting up their faces. And that's when I started noticing something. It wasn't just restaurants. It wasn't just clubs. The details changed. The behavior didn't. Maybe you've seen it in dating too. A message comes in. A screen lights up. A profile shows up. Then another. Then another. The person across from you isn't just sitting with you anymore. They're competing with the next option. Every face, every possibility. And it all asks the same quiet question. What if there's something better? And that's what really changed. Not that people became different. Not that technology ruined anything. But that attention stopped staying in one place. You open up an app to reply to one message, and you're still there 20 minutes later. Scrolling, one profile, more scrolling, more looking. You weren't even looking for anything. You just kept going. Because the same device that connects you also gives you constant alternatives. Constant comparison. Think about how social media works. You post something, then your attention goes right back to it. A like, a comment, a notification. And suddenly you're checking again. Photos became the currency. Attention became the reward. Something you can get instantly, over and over again. And that's where things changed. Because attention became easier than connection. Connection takes time. Attention takes a second. Connection requires patience. Attention tells you to keep looking. Connection asks you to stay. For a long time, I thought the biggest change in dating was technology. Not anymore. Maybe you felt it too. That feeling that people's attention is never fully here. Part of it's with you. Part of it is somewhere else. And slowly people stopped asking one question. Who can I build something with? and started asking another, who notices me? They sound similar, but they're not. One builds something real, the other just gets attention, and attention doesn't stay. It moves on. It gets replaced. Connection is different. It asks you to stay when it's easier to leave, to focus when it's easier to scroll, to choose one moment over everything else trying to pull you away. Because now distraction is constant and patience is rare. And that's how you can be sitting with someone and still feel alone. Not because anything is wrong, but because your attention isn't fully there. And theirs isn't either. Because being noticed and being known are not the same thing. One fills a room, the other fills a life. And somewhere along the way, people got very good at being noticed, but not as good at being present. And if you ever feel like something is off in modern dating, maybe the real question isn't what changed out there. Maybe it's what changed in us. What do you think? I'm curious what you've noticed.